Hi everyone, and welcome back to the movie podcast that no one asked for. I'm your host Alia, and today's episode is episode 8, and we're going to be talking about The Notebook, a movie that never fails to make me cry, and I can't wait to get into the production details, some fun behind the scenes facts, actor bios, and of course the synopsis of the movie. So without further ado, let's get started. As always, I'm going to start off with a quick synopsis of this movie without giving away too much. However, it's been out for a long time and I recommend you guys go watch it, as I do with all the movies I talk about. This story is about love, true love that endures. Star-crossed lovers Ali, a wealthy heiress, and Noah, a working class mill worker, meet when they are teenagers in the 1940s. Obviously, this is not okay with Ali's upper class parents, as Noah does not meet their standard. Despite this, the pair continue to meet in secret until they are caught. Their families tear them apart, and both are left heartbroken. After World War II, both of their lives change as they grow up and become adults, but one thing remains the same: their longing for what could have been. Without spoiling too much, they reunite through lots of trials and tribulations involving family interference and the reality of what is truly best for each of them. The story is told on a dual timeline with a heartbreaking back and forth between the young Ali and Noah and the old. This movie was inspired by Nick Cassavetes' best-selling 1996 novel, which was in turn inspired by the real-life story of his wife's grandparents, who were married for over 60 years. The producers were Mark Johnson and Lynn Harris under New Line Cinema, but was distributed globally by Warner Brothers Pictures. The film was made on a budget of around $29 million and went on to gross over $116 million worldwide in the box office, becoming a cult classic. The director for this film was the author of the book, Nick Cassavetes. You might know him as the director from Unhook the Stars, She's So Lovely, John Q, Alpha Dog, My Sister's Keeper, Yellow, The Other Woman, and God Is a Bullet. And as an actor, he was in Blind Fury as Lyle Pike, Face Off as Dietrich Hassler, Blow as Derek Farrell, The Hangover Part 2, where he makes a cameo as Tattoo Joe, Queen Pins, where he plays Captain Payne, and he also co-wrote the screenplay for the biological crime film Blow in 2001. Now, the first actor that we're going to be discussing today is Ryan Gosling, who plays Noah Calhoun. I'm sure everyone knows of Ryan Gosling, but if you don't, he was in La La Land as Sebastian, Project Hail Mary most recently as Ryland Grace, Drive, where he plays Driver, Blade Runner 2049, where he plays Officer K, Crazy Stupid Love, where he plays Jacob, and Remember the Titans, where he plays Alan Bosley. Those are just a handful of his credits. A fun fact about Ryan is that he once lived with Justin Timberlake for 6 months during their time on the Mickey Mouse Club after Timberlake's mother became Gosling's legal guardian for those 6 months, so this was when they were kids. He was also almost in the then unknown boy band Backstreet Boys after turning down the invitation to join in his early career. I think he would have made a fantastic Backstreet Boy, and he's always been an entertainer from the very beginning. Now we have Rachel McAdams, who plays Ali Hamilton, another iconic name. She was in Mean Girls as Regina George, Send Help, where she plays Linda Little, that was her most recent film, About Time, where she plays Mary, another fantastic romance movie that she was in, The Vow, where she plays Paige, Doctor Strange, where she plays Dr. Christine Palmer, Wedding Crashers as Claire Cleary, and Game Night, where she plays Ryan. Game Night is a fantastic film. I rewatched it recently. If you want a good laugh, go check it out. It's on Netflix at the moment. A fun fact about Rachel is that she was actually Jon Favreau's favourite to play Pepper Potts in the MCU. Of course, eventually that role went to Gwyneth Paltrow. And Rachel is also a trained stage actress with a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree from York University in Canada. And following the success of The Notebook and Mean Girls in 2004, she took a 2-year hiatus from acting after her newfound fame, which was a very healthy step to take, I think, for her and for a lot of actors. Now let's talk about the old Ali and Noah. James Garner does a fantastic job playing old Noah. He was in The Girl He Left Behind as Preston Rogers, The Great Escape, where he plays Flight Lieutenant Robert Hendley, Maverick, where he plays Brett Maverick, 8 Simple Rules, where he plays Jim Egan, Grand Prix, where he plays Pete Aaron, Space Cowboys, where he plays Tank Sullivan, and he was in The Ultimate Gift as Red Stevens. James left school at 16 to join the Merchant Marines and later joined the army during the Korean War, where he was awarded 2 Purple Hearts, which is an incredible feat. He also legally changed his last name from Baumgartner to Garner after a studio credited him without his permission. Next we have Gina Rowlands, who plays Old Ali. You might know her from A Woman Under the Influence, where she plays Mabel, which got her nominated for the Academy Award for Best Actress. She was in Gloria as Gloria, which again got her nominated for the Academy Award for Best Actress. She was in Faces, where she plays Jeannie Rapp, Minnie Ann Moskowitz, where she plays Minnie Moore, and Opening Night, where she plays Myrtle Gordon, which won her the Silver Bear for Best Actress at the Berlin International Film Festival. John Cassavetes was her husband, and their son is the director of this film, so this is a family affair. She is also an independent cinema pioneer, and whilst making mainstream studio pictures, she became an indie icon by headlining independent films without major studio support, which was groundbreaking at the time. Next up, we have James Marsden, who plays the handsome Lon Hammond. He was in 27 Dresses as Kevin Doyle, Paradise, where he plays Cal Bradford, Sonic the Hedgehog, where he plays Tom Wachowski, Enchanted, where he plays Prince Edward, Jury Duty, where he plays himself, another show that I really need to get around to watching, Your Friends and Neighbours, where he plays Owen Ash, and lastly the X-Men movie from 2000, where he plays Cyclops. So James Marsden is certainly another actor that you would have seen on your screen from one time to another. And a fun fact about James Marsden is that he was on a family vacation when he was 17, where he met actor Kirk Cameron and his sister Candace. They invited him to Los Angeles, where he eventually got his start. He started singing to improve his grades, as he was only allowed to perform in the school plays if he maintained his grades. He then of course went on to star in musicals Hairspray and Enchanted, so he ended up doing very well for himself, of course, and I'm sure that he's glad he kept those grades up. Next we have Joan Allen, who plays Anne Hamilton, aka Ally's mum. She was in the Bourne franchise as Pamela Landy, Death Race, where she plays Claire Hennessy, Pleasantville, where she plays Betty Parker, Face Off as Dr. Eve Archer, A Good Marriage, where she plays Darcy, The Ice Storm, where she plays Elena Hood, and Room, where she plays Nancy Newsom. You might notice that a lot of these actors actually have an overlap in the movies that they're in, so a lot of them have worked together before this movie or after, which is always nice to see. A fun fact about Joan Allen is that she is a 3-time Academy Award nominated actress for Nixon, The Crucible, and The Contender. She made her Broadway debut in 1988 opposite John Malkovich in Burn This, which won her a Tony Award. Joan was a shy child, and after failing to get into her school's cheerleading team, she tried out for the theatre programme instead, and the rest is history. Another story of fate and the stars aligning for another actor there. David Thornton plays John Hamilton. You'll know him from John Q, which was also directed by Nick Cassavetes, where he plays Jimmy Palumbo. He was in Home Alone 3, where he plays Earl Unger, The Last Days of Disco, where he plays Bernie, Civil Action, where he plays Richard Ofiero, God is a Bullet, where he plays Arthur Nachi, The Other Woman, where he plays Nick, and lastly Homeland, where he plays George Palis. Again, I would like to point out all of these are just some credits for each of the actors. There's too many to put down for many of them. They've all had extremely successful careers. A fun fact about Thornton is that he's been married to the iconic singer Cyndi Lauper since 1991, and the godmother to his and Lauper's son is musical legend Patti LaBelle. Sam Shepard plays Frank Calhoun, aka Noah's dad. He was in The Right Stuff, where he plays Chuck Yeager, which earned him an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actor. He was in the famous movie Black Hawk Down, based on a true story, where he plays Major General William F. Garrison. He was also in Steel Magnolias as Spud Jones, Bloodline, where he plays Robert Rayburn, which was his final on-screen role, The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford, where he plays Frank James, and Dash and Lily, where he plays Dash. That role earned him Emmy and Golden Globe nominations. He was a prolific American playwright, actor, author, and director, with a Pulitzer Prize for drama for his project Buried Child in 1979. Sam grew up on a California avocado farm and studied animal husbandry before dropping out to join a touring theatre troupe. Next up, we have Kevin Connolly, who plays Finn, who is Noah's best friend in the film. He was in the movie Secretariat, where he plays Bill Nack, John Q, where he plays Steve Maguire, Entourage, another incredibly famous show, where he plays one of the main characters, Eric Murphy, which earned him a Golden Globe nomination. He's also in He's Just Not That Into You, where he plays Connor Barry, Unhappily After, where he plays Ryan Malloy, Mob Cops, where he plays Raymond Verone, and Don's Plum, where he plays Jeremy, and he starred in that alongside DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire, who he's still good friends with to this day. Connolly was a child star who began acting at 6, and he made his feature film debut in Rocky V as Chicky Gowski. He went on to direct feature films including Gardener of Eden and Goatee, which starred another Hollywood legend, John Travolta. Next up we have Heather Walkist, who plays Sarah Tuffington. She was in the movie Yellow, where she plays Mary, John Q, where she plays Julie Bird, My Sister's Keeper, where she plays Aunt Kelly, Alpha Dog, where she plays Wanda Haynes, Lonely Street as Kathy Grabau, The Incredible Mrs. Ritchie, where she plays Anne, and lastly, Love and Skin, where she plays Demi. Her and Nick Cassavetes fell in love on the set of John Q, a movie he also directed, and they got engaged a year later. However, they divorced in 2017. During the filming of The Notebook, she adopted an Italian greyhound who she named Lampington, aka Lampy Tuffington, after her character. She is also an active supporter of the Women's Care Cottage and Cathedral of Our Lady in LA, which aid abused single parents. And lastly, for the actors, we have Jamie Ann Ullman, who plays Martha Shaw, who is Ali's best friend in the film. She was in Farmhouse, where she plays Scarlett, Prairie Fever, where she plays Olivia Thibodeau, Steel City, where she plays Maria Lee. She was in The Killing as Terry Marek, Any Day Now as Mariana, The Last Rites of Joe May, where she plays Jenny Rapp, and Bosch, where she plays Elizabeth Clayton. The Notebook was her feature film debut, which is incredibly impressive, after she decided to pursue acting seriously and attended the renowned Playhouse West acting school in LA. She is married to actor Marshall Ullman, who is known for his roles in True Blood and Prison Break. Now I will play some iconic scenes and quotes from the movie. You might have heard lots of them. Some of them have even become memes over the years, but I can assure you they are incredibly meaningful and heartbreaking when it comes to the context of the film. Alright.
Why didn't you write me? Why? It wasn't over for me. I waited for you for 7 years. Now it's too late.
I wrote you 365 letters. I wrote you every day for a year.
You wrote me?
Yes. It wasn't over. It still isn't over.
Stay with you. What for? Look at us. We're already fighting.
Well, that's what we do. We fight. You tell me when I'm being an arrogant son of a bitch, and I tell you when you're being a pain in the ass. Which you are, 99% of the time. I'm not afraid to hurt your feelings. They have like a 2-second rebound rate, and you're back doing the next pain in the ass thing.
So what?
So it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be really hard. And we're gonna have to work at this every day, but I wanna do that because I want you. I want all of you, forever, you and me, every day. Will you do something for me? Please? You just picture your life for me? 30 years from now, 40 years from now? What's it look like? If it's with that guy, go. Go! I lost you once. I think I could do it again. If I thought it's what you really wanted. But don't you take the easy way out.
What easy way? There is no easy way. No matter what I do, somebody gets hurt.
Would you stop thinking about what everyone wants? Stop thinking about what I want, what he wants, what your parents want. What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want? God damn it, what do you want?
I have to go.
Film. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed my selection of scenes and quotes there, and as always I will end this podcast with some fun behind the scenes facts. Starting off with the fact that Ryan and Rachel famously feuded on set, often having explosive arguments, and ironically their chemistry on screen eventually translated off screen after filming, when the two started dating in real life for around 3 years. So they really did not get on set, but they must have made up afterwards. Some of the film's most iconic moments were improvised by Ryan, such as the "What do you want" line and the rain-soaked kiss, which I will most likely include in the iconic scenes and quotes. Nick Cassavetes hired Ryan Gosling because he wanted someone who didn't look like a classic Hollywood heartthrob. He wanted a regular looking guy who was a bit nuts. And those are both quotes from him, which is ironic because I would say that now Ryan has become the definition of a Hollywood heartthrob. And lastly, this movie was filmed in reverse, with older scenes being shot first, which allowed Gosling and McAdams to play their initial passionate romance after spending weeks getting to know each other. And I don't know when the feuding started, but maybe they spent a bit too much time getting to know each other and started annoying each other to the point where at one point Ryan wanted McAdams fired off of the set. But all's well that ends well. And speaking of, that is the end of this podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like if you are on YouTube and on Spotify, and go check out my socials as well, which will be in the link in the description on YouTube and in Spotify as well. I'll see you in the next episode.